Hello. Okay, so we are, as you can see, trying something new this time round. What's up, guys? It's your girl Becks, and welcome back to the race rundown. Well, this is where it gets a little bit awkward. I know I've been gone for a while. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I will explain. I've been gone for a while. Okay, I've been gone for a while. I know. We've had a triple header while I've been away, and I have a lot of explaining to do. So let's get straight into it. The first race that I have missed in this time was, of course, Austin, Texas. Now, as half of my audience is American, hi guys, how are you? Lovely to see you all again. I have a confession to make, okay? I have been on a little bit of travelling. I'm not going to tell you where I've been until the end, so stick around for that. But I've done a little bit of travelling, and I missed part of the Austin GP because I was travelling. But I have caught up now, so the race rundown post Austin GP. Let's get into it. The Austin GP, where do I even start? The lap 1 madness in the Austin GP with the late lunge from Max. Lando forced wide and the Ferrari heads through the gap, leading to a Ferrari sneaky peeky little trip into P1. The Ferrari sneaks through the gap. Carlos forces Max to go off the track during this early stage, with Ocon spinning in corner number 1. Now, this is great for people that don't like Ocon. Raise your hands if you don't like Ocon. Sorry, I just don't. So yeah, that was that pretty much. Lots of excitement in lap 1. Then Team LH, brace yourselves. Team LH, brace yourselves. Lewis goes off into the gravel in lap 3. How are we all doing? Are you good? Because I know that was traumatic for a lot of you. So, are you good? Americans, are you good? Are you sticking with me? I know it's only like a minute or two into this. Are you sticking with me? Are you good? I know the car has been absolutely shocking. But it only gets worse from here. It's a triple header, guys. Stick with it. So, Lewis goes off onto the gravel in lap 3 with a spin from Joe in lap 10 and a 5-second penalty for the Mercs. And for the Mercs, I mean, of course, Mr. George Russell for pushing Valtteri off the track. Now, we have seen some altercations between the two of these drivers in the past. Hawkins was a bit harsh, given what I'm going to talk about a bit later on. Yes, I do. We all know, as a McLaren fan, how I feel about the penalties for pushing people off the track. All eyes on you, Max. And we will get into that a little bit later. However, a 5-second penalty was in fact given to George as a result of pushing Valtteri off the track. Then we had Max making a dive bomb on lap 52 and forcing Lando off the track. Red Bull, in their true fashion, decided that McLaren was pissing and moaning. We were not pissing and moaning. It was for good reason. Max. Just saying. Anyway, we'll get into that. So then, of course, with all the stuff going on with Lando and Max, Charles got the win. Because of course he did. Ferrari fans, are you good? Because I feel like this triple header has been very up and down for you guys. It's been very up and down. So stick with me. Okay, stick with me. After the race, they ask Lewis about the drivers and the regulations and whether there should be any changes to the late dive bombing debacle. He says, funny how everyone's talking about this now when it was happening to me in 2021. Not making digs at which driver is responsible, but we all know which driver is responsible. He pulls this shit all the time. So, what happened in Mexico will go down in history as the best time of my fucking life. Anyway, let's get into that while we're here. Next up was the Mexico GP. Let's get into it. So, we had Max and Carlos P1 and P2 absolutely gunning for it. And poor old Yuki. Poor Yuki. He's had a pretty good triple header, to be fair. To be fair, the man has had a pretty good triple header. He performed really well in Brazil just gone. So, you know, not bad. Not bad. So, anyway, I digress. Yuki off and into the barrier during lap 1 as a result of Albon being squeezed by Gasly. And, I mean, Yuki took a shot. It didn't go as planned. He took his shot. It missed. He went flying into the wall and was unfortunately out as a result, which then meant that Lando could go into third with Sainz in the lead on lap 7. At this point, my notes that I've written down become a little bit spicy, because if you will remember what happened in Austin, Texas, because clearly the FIA are biased in America, must have been the junk food they were eating blocking their vision entirely. I was watching the race with my loving father, home from my travels, back with my family once again, resuming the usual position to watch my races. And me and my dad being somewhat of a Red Bull follower, not a fan of Max, however, just, you know, we had a bet in 2021 that Max would, I was hoping Max would lose. And Dad bet that Max would win. Does that make him a Max fan? No, it does not. However, we both are firm believers in the rule that Max should not be able to do late dive bombs and should not be able to force people off the track and get away with it. And apparently, the FIA put on their all-seeing glasses for this and decided that we were right. So, Dad and I were watching it. Max does yet another of his little sprinkle on the late brakes. Absolutely dive bombs it. Forces both him and Lando off the track. Not once, but twice. Twice, people. Twice. I was fuming at my television. I was beyond angry. However, the FIA, the gods themselves, I say that very loosely, by the way, because I don't like them all the time, come through with not one, but 2 10-second penalties. Suck on that, Red Bull. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Sorry to all the Red Bull fans out there. That then meant that basically Max was fucked. In the best way possible. Max was absolutely effed. Poor Max, but also not poor Max. That's what you get for being a dick. Moving swiftly on. Alonso out on lap 16 with a car retirement on his 400th Grand Prix weekend. I felt quite bad for Alonso. At least his helmet looked cool, though, as he was getting backed into the garage. His helmet sparkling in the sun. He looked great. I feel sorry for him, though. I really, really do. Then the race continued. Aston Martin already having a pretty poor weekend in Mexico. And Stroll decides, you know what? I don't want to be a torpedo anymore. I don't want to hit people off the track. That continues in Brazil, by the way. I want to turn my F1 car, my £2 million-ish car, into a lawnmower. And he decides to trim that grass on lap 19 and just cuts the corner completely. So then after that little bit of humour with Lance Stroll becoming a literal lawnmower, I need to turn that into a meme. He then continues on with his race. Everybody continues on perfectly fine. You know, I'm thinking, oh, okay. You know, Lando's getting up there. There's a bit of pace going on. It's all good. We're fine. We're sorted. Nothing interesting is going to happen between now and the end of the race. You know, standard for Mexico. You know, whoever's in the lead normally keeps the lead right till the end. Until... Now, Ferrari fans, stay with me. Stay with me, okay? I know you've had a good triple header so far, but stay with me. Stay with me. I feel sorry for you lot, by the way. It's honestly so depressing for you to be a Ferrari fan. I mean, it's depressing enough being a McLaren fan. I mean, there's no way that Lando is going to win a championship this year, unfortunately. Next year we could, unless they fluff the car completely, we could have a championship next year. Emphasis on good. I'm not getting my hopes up. The 2025 edition of the Race Rundown could be very interesting. It could be a very McLaren heavy podcast. So, people, ladies and gentleberries, hold on to your hats. Ferrari fans, close your ears. Charles Leclerc, Mr. Bottle Job himself, rich coming from me, I know, in lap 63, bottles it. Well, I say bottles it. He loses it into the corner. Bit of snaking towards the barrier. Lando just skids on through, as you do, casual. And, yeah, I think that Leclerc was very lucky to not end up in the bin. He was very lucky to not hit those barriers and make it off into the grass runoff area, or the dirt runoff area. Very lucky indeed. With Carlos, of course, taking the win. But the one thing I took from the Mexico Grand Prix is the fact that it took Lewis a grand total. Again, Merc fans, hello, I'm talking to you. Not in particularly Team LH, because I don't want to anger you. I don't want to make you sad. I don't want to upset you. Okay? I come in peace. Alright? I come in peace. The fact that it took a 7-time world champion 10 laps to get round George Russell is embarrassing. Sorry, I said it. I'm sorry. I've said it. Look. I'll prove to you that I'm not biased in this. Hold on. Look, I'm not biased in this. See? You lot are sitting there thinking, oh, she's a McLaren fan. See? Evidence that I'm not biased in this. I may not be a member of Team LH, but I can respect a 7-time world champion when I see one. However, him taking 10 laps to get past George Russell, Osama bin Russell, if you watch Rocket Power Mohawk, is honestly, quite frankly, embarrassing. Not saying that I could do it, obviously, because I ain't a Formula 1 driver. But I'm just saying that a 7-time world champion taking 10 laps to get round his number 2 driver is embarrassing. Especially when... this arguably makes it more embarrassing. Lewis had all the upgrades on his car and George was outperforming him. Now that's not good. Upgrades are meant to make the car better, not make it worse. I'm just going to leave that there before I get myself in trouble. Now, if we all thought that that wasn't enough chaos, okay, then let's get into the most recent race of this triple header, the Brazilian Grand Prix. So, the Brazilian GP. How do I say this politely? It was the biggest clusterfuck I've ever seen. Should it have gone ahead? I mean, it has to, really, doesn't it? It would have had to have rained a lot consistently for it to not. So, yeah, I don't really know. So, we'll start off with the sprint. Now, you know me by this point. We've been in this for long enough for you to know that I don't like sprint races. So guess what? I didn't watch it. Sorry, guys. If you like sprint races, check the highlights out on F1. Not here. I don't do sprint races. I never have. And I don't think I ever will, to be honest. I really don't. So, Norris won the sprint. Great. Happy days. Not that that means anything to me. Obviously, extra points. Fantastic. Doesn't mean anything to me at all. So then, a rainy qualifying that gets moved to Sunday morning. Now, ladies and gentleberries, you may or may not know at this point, obviously he has been on this podcast before, but you may or may not know at this point that my loving fiance is not a Formula 1 fan, and neither are his parents or his sisters. And it was my loving father-in-law's birthday on Sunday. So we went out for a meal. Now, I set myself a goal as a Formula 1 obsessed individual to not watch the F1 if I'm in a social situation, because I don't think it's fair. If a fellow F1 fan at the house, because there are some in his family, put the race on the TV or have it on their phone, I might ask them, but I don't actively sit in the corner and watch the F1 when I'm out. So I didn't actually watch the Brazilian Grand Prix. However, I can still give you the race rundown, as thanks for F1, I watched the highlights for you all. So I watched a little bit of quali. Now, this is unusual for me because normally I don't watch quali because I normally miss it on a Saturday because I'm busy. However, today, or this past weekend, qualifying was on a Sunday morning. Sunday morning, rain is falling. I think that's the words. I could be wrong. Anyway, enjoy my singing. So we had a very, very, very rainy qualifying with Hamilton out in Q1. Anyway. And then Q1 finishes. Q2, yellow flag as Carlos is into the wall and another yellow turning into a red after 40 seconds. Bit questionable from the FIA there as Stroll ended up in the wall. Do we think that 40-second gap was on purpose so that Max would be out in Q2? I don't know. That is purely speculation. I am not about to get my ass kicked by Max fans. I don't want that in my life. That's chaotic energy that I no longer need. So, and do we think it was on purpose? Let me know in the comments. That then meant, obviously, this red flag then meant that Max was out in Q2. Boo-hoo for all the Verstappen fans. Happy days for me. It's the only time I've actually liked Lance Stroll. Sorry if you're a Stroll fan. But can I ask a quick question? If you are a Stroll fan, why are you a Stroll fan? Really? Mr. I'm only in a car because my dad bought the team. Respectfully, why? Just why? Thank you for your time. Anyway, I digress. Q3. Alonso, red flag. Albon, red flag. The car is hella broke. That was my notes. Well done, Becks, for writing that down. Albon's car was hella broke. He broke 3 different corners of the car. There's only 4 on it, and he broke 3 of them. Yeah, the car was absolutely doomed. He broke that shit. P1 for Lando, fantastic. Russell in second, and Tsunoda absolutely smashing it. Driving like a bat out of hell. I reckon that he's had that Red Bull contract dangled in front of his face, and he's been told that if he keeps performing well, he will replace a certain Mexican in 2025, or at the end of 2025. Now, I have some Checo fans in my life, all eyes looking at you, Callan, and I genuinely believe that Tsunoda will overtake him. Tsunoda absolutely smashed it, coming in P3. Then, the absolute monstrosity that was the race. So then we had Stroll spinning out in the formation lap. The start was aborted. A number of drivers then in the steward's office after the race, as the race start was aborted, yet they all moved without the lights going green. Lando being one of them. Sad times. I don't know what was going on with Stroll in the formation lap. The fact that he just wandered off and then turned into the gravel and was like, fucking driving Miss Daisy. Anyway, whatever. 10-second penalty for Ollie in lap 4 for causing a collision with Colapinto. Max passed Piastri with ease on lap 10. Poor Piastri, man. Lap 30, the heavens opened and blessed us with the rainfall. The rainfall fell in lap 30 to the point where visibility was very, very limited. So much rain that Lando goes off the track, with Russell going through into 4th. The safety car is then deployed in lap 32 with Colapinto into the wall with a red flag shortly afterwards, and Ollie into the barrier and Carlos off on lap 39. As you can tell by this point, there is lots and lots and lots of skidding going on. Lots and lots of skidding going on. Lots and lots of people flying off the road. Lando then goes off the road again on lap 43 and Piastri goes through. However, that did not last very long as, again, I'm not sure how to feel about this because it's my own team and I don't like race orders. But race orders got involved and Piastri got told to skirt aside and let Lando through. Do I believe that was potentially the best thing to do? No, because obviously I want the drivers to race. But at the same time, I genuinely believe that they just want as many points as they can, because points mean prizes in F1 and prizes mean money going to the car, which means they could win a championship next year. So after that, team orders. Then the unthinkable happens. The end of the race happens and we have a Max win for the first time since Spain. Now that was enough for me to turn it off, because the Dutch national anthem is too much for me, guys. I'm sorry, I get PTSD. My eye starts to shake. I can't. My eye's already bad enough as it is, and then it starts to twitch and I just can't handle it. And then we had the mighty Alpine. Where the hell have you been? As you all know, I have been jokingly saying that Alpine are the new Williams this past season, and you will never change my mind. However, they absolutely smashed it in Brazil. They absolutely smashed it. Esteban Ocon in second with Pierre Gasly in third. An Alpine double podium. What a surprise. It was not on my 2024 bingo card, I'm going to be honest. It was not on my bingo card. However, it was, in fact, a glorious, glorious day for the Frenchmans. A glorious, glorious day. And I mean, you love to see it, you know. A different podium for once. You love to see it. So, my final bit at the end of this almighty triple header episode is, where have you been, Becks? Where have you been? You said at the head of this episode that you've been travelling. Where have you been? Well, I was travelling to the US of A. Now I know what you're thinking. Becks, you don't like America. You don't think that America belongs in F1. Why would you go there on a holiday? Well, you don't know where I've been, guys. You don't know where I've been. So, for those of you that know, hold on. I'll give you a hint on where I've been. Give me 1 second. Okay. Alrighty. I've been to the US of A. Okay. Here we go. Oh, yes. Now, if I rotate slightly to my left, right on the camera. Oh! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I, your host, Becks of the Race Rundown, have been to Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's go, baby! So, as you all know, the next race on the calendar is, in fact, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I may or may not have gone a little bit overboard with the F1 merch, as you can see. However, I regret nothing. I regret nothing. Was this merch hella expensive? Maybe. But I regret nothing. Added to the collection fully. Got the date on the old hat here to remember the holiday. Let's hope that the GP is as good as the merch, because this shit is comfortable. I'm just saying. This is comfy. It's oversized. It's got the little emblem on the thing. Let me cop you a view of the back. Hold on. We've got graphics on the back. Hold on. Here we go. Look. Got graphics on the back. Let's go. Will I be sat on my sofa watching the GP like this? You best believe I will, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am going to flash up some pictures of my holiday on the screen while I am talking to you. It was not an F1 holiday before everyone starts to get excited that there's like behind the scenes footage of the Vegas GP. There is not. I was out there visiting family. However, there was signs of the GP near enough everywhere, with trees being moved, with the Venetian being drained, with preparations beginning. And as you can see from the video on the screen, the lovely Bellagio fountains with beautiful scaffolding in front of it. Now, for all those that watch the GP, you will know that those are in fact the grandstands. Did the F1 affect my holiday that much? No, it did not. However, it was nice to have merch everywhere. The airport, the casinos, even the blinking streets were covered with F1 merch. Now, as you can see from this, it's all very Vegas heavy merch. That is because I didn't want to buy any team merch that I could buy in the UK. Now, if you were to buy this hoodie in the UK, you would have to get it shipped over from the US. I just saved myself some time and brought it back with me. Same with the hat, same with the cup. I wanted some merch that was dated, so I bought the hat because it has the 2024 date on it. But then I also wanted some merch that wasn't dated, so we've got this cup. There was 3 different colours in this, maybe even 4 different colours. There was a white one, a red one, a grey one, and this one. It's like a 40-ounce Stanley kind of cup. I also have my custom Lando Norris cup, which if you guys want to see the custom Lando Norris cup, let me know and I will show you. I did it myself. Decorated it myself. So yeah, we got the cup, we got the hoodie, and we got the hat. I cannot be happier with my trip to Las Vegas, Nevada. Obviously, I'm not going to be there for the GP. I will be at home watching it on TV. But it was still 100% worth it. And if you get the chance to go, you should definitely go. On that note, everybody, the next race is, in fact, as I said earlier, Las Vegas, Nevada. And I will be watching on the TV. So until then, I've been your girl, Becks. This has been the Race Rundown. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!